so that we can get inputs from everywhere, every corner, and then decide what could be the syllabus. So I'll also request your contribution to this seminar, so that we will generate a very useful industry-ready people by 2070. Okay. So these are some of the initiatives we are going to take, and we need your support. You help us to help you. So it is a win-win situation. Okay. So you require manpower, and we require replacement, because the earlier universities are only to impart the basic knowledge and leave it, the placement leave it to their fate. But now it has become a part of our activity. So you help us, we help you, and we will see that without your mobility we can do everything. Even tomorrow, if we get the e-studio with us, the VPN base, you can as well interview from your place, from Hyderabad to those people. We will conduct the videos thing. That candidate, you can see the candidate, you can interview online. That facility also we can do it. Okay, we require only 1 Mbps or 2 Mbps for each college to get into our VPN, and then from transfer to 219 colleges. Okay, we require 20 Mbps. We have 1 Gbps at our campus right now. Okay, so these are some of the facilities where we can go technology based, so that we can take help of all of you without wasting your time, and without the even financially also we need not have to bother about it, because we are delivering things from your own office. So I will now request Globalina Raju, what are the initiatives he has taken, how they have trained the student, is there any gaps, and then what could be the schedules you prefer for placement. All this let us discuss, and then we'll open up for ideas from you. Okay? So, please.
Through ELAS and GEMS for all the colleges of 202 engineering colleges of JNTU Kakinada. We have started this project from August 2012. We have completed one phase. Second phase we have started very recently. Only 2 phases we are doing, the learning and assessment both. Then final phase is we would like to collaborate with industry and conduct the job analysis. Just to give you a little background about Globalina. Globalina is part of Chari Group. Mr. Chari, who was the founder, managing director of Dr. Reddy's. 97, he has come out from Dr. Reddy's and started Elbit and Globalina from Chari Group. Education, Globalina. Healthcare belongs to Elbit Diagnostic Services. Quality certifications. According to our knowledge, based on NABET assessors, we are the first company to get quality council in NABET accreditation for our training. Just 3 months before we got our NABET accreditation. This is our partnerships and associations. NASSCOM, we are the NASSCOM's assessment partner. NASSCOM SNAC, we are the implementation partner for nationally. We have conducted more than 40,000 assessments recently, and the University of Cambridge ESOL examination, that is language related assessments, 34, and these are our partnerships and associations. Our training services delivery methodology, first we identify the needs from colleges or universities, then we develop curriculum, instruction design, then we participate, we conduct our programs, then knowledge transferring, then measure the knowledge transfer, how much we have done, how far they are able to equip themselves, then give that details to the industry. That is what our training service methodology was currently adopted. In ELAS and GEMS, totally 4 phase delivery we are offering. That is phase 1, very basic language and communication skills. Phase 2, soft skills. Then phase 3, that is pre-placement training. And last phase is corporate training. As of now, just to give you the snapshot, a total 202 colleges we have covered in JNTU Kakinada. Together 1.1 lakh students we have given our program, that is we have installed our content, learning content at all colleges in JNT Kakinada, hundreds of learning content. The same content we have given user ID password web-based so that they can access from anywhere. Whatever they learned at the college, they need not to stop. Maybe after reaching home, for them to practice, they can have that material with them. While they learn the learning material, we have also deployed of face-to-face interaction through this initiative. After that, after completing the face-to-face interaction, we have started, that is just recently we have started the pre-assessment. The assessment is going to complete by February, so that we generate the profile of each and every student, learnability and all this. As of now, 3,120 hours of mentor-led interaction happened. Still 1,008 hours of mentor interaction need to be delivered. Assessment and counseling and skills tested by companies like Aptitude, Subject and Competencies delivered for 20K students delivered. Remaining students will be covered by in the month of January and February. Just to give you a branch-wise talent availability in JEE, we have covered 60,064 students across all 202 colleges. CSE, 11,718 students. IT, we have 4,460,337. Other branches like electronics and computer engineering, chemical, biotech, aeronautical, petrochemical, biomedical, mining, together 940 students. Together we have addressed, we have given our learning as well as the mental interaction, 51,502 students available across JNT Kakinada, 202 colleges. What we are doing current third year as well as current 4 years we are addressing. So that third year the deliverables are different because they had to face the industry. They have another 1 year. So we give them the capital wise. So next year they will have a different material. These are the deliverables overview. Learning, pre-placement training, that is aptitude, arithmetic, reasoning, verbal, we have covered group discussion, interview skills, and then communication soft skills. Mental interaction, as I mentioned, 4 days, that is 24 hours per college, they will get the mental interaction. Trainers will visit each and every college. Then self-assessment, they will do on their own. Through web-based, they will do on their own self-assessment. Minimum 3 to 4 we have given to each and every student, for them to understand where they are good, what are the areas they need to improve. Then proctored assessment we are doing to proctored, so that assessment we would like to pass on to all the industries for their requirement. To look at that, just to give you what are the areas we covered in assessment, we give 3 kinds of assessment. One is college-wise, another one university-wise, the next one each and every student will have.
Thanks. Good evening to one and all. So what we do is when we conduct any percentages, how much they have scored in their engineering, the 10th intermediate and other aspects. Number 2 is the assessment scores as such. In assessments, the various sections what we cover, it is one is aptitude, which has quantitative ability, numeric and verbal and reasoning, these 3 aspects. Along with that, we have a behavioral assessment, which would help companies to understand what kind of a person he is and how the personality or various other aspects fit to the job opportunities the companies are having. And number 3 is more importantly the domain, that is of the engineering branch. In major 5 branches, mechanical, civil, electrical, electronics and computer science. These we do. So these are the statistical parameters of complete university population, which is seeding the best candidates for the companies required. In this sense, there could be a very good, brilliant student in a Tier 2 or Tier 3 college. Our effort is to make sure that no such students are left out and they are showcased to the companies. So based on the company requirements and various analytics we provide, those students can be identified and the right fits can be found by the company. We'll take a look at the college profile. This is where we are comparing their academic percentages and all other things, academic percentages and assessment scores with respect to overall university performance. Now if we come to specific college talent pool, this we call as talent picture, where we have got 4 quadrants. On the x-axis we have got the assessment scores, and on the y-axis we have okay. So it is basically scores lower than JNTU average in assessment, which is on x-axis, and less than 60% in graduate and higher than 60%. Basically, if you look at as 2 parameters, it is low high and low high. So these are the 4 universities. Those who are scoring low on the assessments but who are good in academics, by additional training they can improve their capabilities and they can move into this quadrant. And this quadrant is somewhere, who are low in assessments and low in academics as well. And this is the quadrant where they are higher in capabilities or in the skills what we assess in the assessment. And in academics, they are slightly lower. There could be borderline cases as well. Depending on that, these people could be identified and looked for, tier 2 or tier 3 kind of jobs. Quadrant. These are most probable ones who with some additional training can move into this quadrant easily. So this would provide good input for all the companies when they are coming to receive having, so that next year when we do the training, we need to take up and take that gaps. Company, they know exactly where we will fit, because we are doing aptitude, we are doing domain, and we are doing personality also. So because major people, okay, my friend is going to IT company, I also need to go for IT. So based on his personality, where his skills suit, accordingly we will guide. And also we will counsel through our faculty, because our faculties are visiting different colleges. So these are the activities we are doing currently at JNTU.
Tell me, sir, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What is the weightage between domain, aptitude and personality? Suppose all 3 are 100 marks. What is the weightage you are saying?
Sir, the aptitude test is for 50 marks, and it has components related to reasoning. Yeah. So domain is another 30 marks. 30 marks. It's a separate test. It's not the same test. Yeah. And then there is behavioral profiling. Yeah. There is no marks. It gives out a very descriptive report, which matches the student's personality with various kinds of careers that are available. So it will give out what are the best 4 or 5 jobs for him.
Why did you give less marks to domain and more marks to aptitude?
No, actually each aspect of what we want to measure, we have about 20 to 30 questions. So in aptitude also, it is actually a combination of 3 aspects. Aptitude consists of one, numerical ability, English language skills, and reasoning. Yeah. And domain we have conducted a separate test, because this is not meaningful to conduct along with aptitude. Aptitude test is completed, and then they will start a new test, which is basically domain test, which is of 30 marks.
Even domain, all 4 years, his percentage of marks will speak about the domain knowledge also. So how best he is among all the others with the same benchmark, that gives the
Therefore, it's all year on year.
year on year, yeah.
And the gaps which you are going to bridge among the students. Is that right? Okay. Something which is very, very generic. Say, for example, you have said that behavior. I don't know what is the instrument you have to display to the student. And what is that instrument? Is that industry related, or is it related?
The Big Five model. It's a standardized test with Indian norms. We have done the piloting for that prior to actually making it live. detailed technical report with statistical analysis and reliability coefficients is available for that. So it basically doesn't measure anything. It basically gives a descriptive report of the candidate's personality, like whether he is an introvert or an extrovert. He is suitable for marketing jobs or maybe for research kind of jobs. That consists of about 50 questions.
Can we have a look at that?
Yeah, sure.
I think probably one thought here, 50% to be for the analytics. I could be wrong. Charity application, right? And maybe 30% for the aptitude and 20% for the domain. I think based on, I mean, that's definitely a good thing to have, and that might be definitely something that might be valid. But based on the industry that they are going, it should have that sensitivity wherein they may say that, you know what, the analytics for my kind of a business, my kind of a work that we do or we want to recruit, I want to move the needle to say 40%, whereas for the domain, maybe it's 60%. As a result, this entire fourth part of the fourth quadrangle that you are actually showing, the percentages of the people and everything is going to change. And I may want to have an intersection of what is a generic test that you are actually doing with what my company needs. As a result, that would be the subset that I can really focus upon. Or that could be the subset that you can actually focus upon how to train those people to move them into quadrangle 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, etc., etc. I think that sensitivity, probably if you can bake that into your equation, your software, I think that will become even more flexible for the people who want to use that and customize that as per their requirements.
That are measured, you have a score. And there is a percentile score of that particular skill for the entire population. So you will have scores on, say, analytical ability, language skills, then quantitative ability, then domain knowledge. Now, if for your company, the domain knowledge and, say, analytical ability are important, so you could shortlist based on those scores first. So we can easily configure that for you. When you give out your criteria that these are my priority areas, we would configure that to suit that, and when you shortlist, you can base your shortlisting on those scores.
Okay. One question. If I understand correctly, I'm sorry if I missed the point somewhere. All this exercise is basically being done to attract the industry into your campus and pick up students and make them more employable, right? So if that is the purpose, then I have a question. So I'm talking about you would be having a complete dossier of all the candidates who got 85%, 90% year after year. Extremely good on domain, extremely good on behavioral skills, extremely good on aptitude. My whole question is, at the end of the day, when industry comes into your campus to pick up students, these guys are least preferred. You get my point? They are least preferred because somebody who's doing extremely well academically would either go abroad or would go and get into an Indian Institute of Management or probably one of those top management schools. So, but what the industry actually needs is people who would come and join them and stay with them for a longer period of time. So, to ensure that, what exactly are you doing? For example, I give you an example. I've held a series of binge of campus recruitments last year. We picked up about 150 people all over Andhra Pradesh. We made it a point that we will not, our bottom level cutoff is 55%. And only in exceptional cases where we found that the guy was financially weak, and that is something which we ensured during the interview, we have not offered a single job to anybody who got more than 65%. We said anybody above 65% would only pass it, he would definitely pass the test, he would come and sit through the interview, he will not take my offer letter. He will take my offer letter, he will not join. See, what is the whole purpose? At the end of the day, the guy was going to join the company which is coming into your campus. So what are you doing in order to ensure that maximum the strike rate, okay, I'll use a cricketing word, strike rate is maximum. All this assessment is fine. And somebody who's got 85% in everything, for us, for industry, he is not useful at this stage. He will definitely go into a management school, get into a bank and end up being an accountant there. Is there anything that you would recommend, so much so that you take off that top layer, take off the bottommost layer, and give the industry only that segment which is employable and which will definitely go ahead and take up employment? Is there anything that can be done to address this issue?
We can actually, I think you might have noticed when Honorable Vice Chancellor was speaking, we are starting the program from the third year itself. You can see, I mean, this year it is 5 years, but from next year, the third year also, we'll be taking the program, which can be easily loaded into our system, and all the students would take the reassessment, which can be configured in such a manner that it will filter only those kind of people which you would like to really engage with. And it will also maybe also capture the interest of those students towards your company. If they are really interested only, then they will go for that assessment. And over a period of time, you have an opportunity to interact with them through our portal, where you can make